So let's talk about working with virtual switches in Hyper-V. Those are managed using the Virtual Switch Manager. So I'm going to come in and open that up, and I have a handful of virtual switches here. Let me show you how we would create one just in case you don't have one on your home computer and you need it. So we have 3 different types of virtual switches, and we're going to go over this more in class. So just real quick, an external virtual switch will allow your virtual machines to communicate through your physical machine to the internet or anywhere else in the network. So if you're going to use your virtual machine and you want to get out to the network, it needs to be on an external. A private virtual switch is probably the other thing that we might use at home. So we're going to use either internal or external or private. So a private virtual switch, it can't go out to the network. It can still communicate with other virtual machines that you're hosting on that private switch, but it's not going to be able to go out to the internet. And you can only have one external switch. And when you create an external switch, let me just show you here, we're going to set what external network we want to use. So this is basically going to be our network card. It doesn't always work well with wireless network adapters, just so you're aware. You can also choose at this point to say, no, I want to do internal or private instead. You're probably going to want to leave this checked, allow management operating system to share this network adapter. If you uncheck that, and this is your only network adapter, you just took your physical computer offline. So you'll set the name, any notes that you want, what type, and then create it. And since you can only use one, and I said you can only have one external adapter, that's technically not true, but you can't have multiple network adapters using the same physical Ethernet connection. And since I only have one, I can't create a second virtual switch here. So I'm going to come here and set the name to demo switch. I'm going to set this as private, and I'm going to hit OK. And that's going to create my switch for me. Now, if I have a virtual machine, let's say the video demo that we did before, I can right click on it and go to settings. And here's where I can adjust all of my settings. And the one we're looking at right here is the network adapter. So let's say I didn't attach a network adapter before. I can come in here and just click my drop down and say, all right, connect that to my demo switch. Okay. And that virtual machine now has a virtual switch attached to it. So if you're going to need to network or at least access your network settings and you want it to not say, hey, this isn't plugged in, for your virtual machine, that will solve the issue. So that should give you what you need to do virtual switches in your home network environment where you're working on homework.